To Welland?
I did go back. I paid my membership and I went back for two meetings. And the vibe that I used to know was there, no longer there.
Come on out to
Uh,
Niagara Falls.
Pardon me?
Come on out to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, there's someone, what's her name? Ruth Wanless. I know her.
Ruth,
I think she's in Niagara Falls, isn't
yeah,
she?
she lives in Fawn Hill, but she comes to Niagara Falls, and Pearl comes to Niagara Falls. She lives in Welland, and we've had a few of the other members from Welland transfer over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit difficult for me to explain why, but it is. For one, there's a lot of familiar faces that were no longer there. So
yeah,
that made a big difference for me.
yeah,
Uh, and somehow they had veered towards telephone photography. Well, when I went to the meetings,
yes,
I said, well, no, I'm not interested too much in
yeah.
something like
You have to. So I don't want to hijack the meeting, George, but in camera club
No,
circles,
that's fine.
you have to really the
Yeah,
tweak the programs
yeah,
because you have people who are still using phone cameras because they haven't bought a camera yet, and you have people who've been doing it for 50 years and have been pro to semi-pro, and you got to make them all happy.
I know.
And so, you know, I think last year we had Peter. Well, you remember for Peter Ferguson.
Oh,
He came
yes.
and he does 99% of everything he does now is with a phone, but he does
Yeah.
fantastic work.
It-
And so he came and talked to us. It was either the last season or the season before, and we put a little bit in, but ninety
yeah,
percent of our members, 95 or more, are DSLR or mirrorless, right?
yeah,
And yeah, so you got to really be careful with that,
yeah.
right?
I understand.
Yeah,
Sure. Well, maybe one day I'll do the extra clicks to
yeah. We start at the end of August this year, August 31st, and we're changing things up a little bit in the new year, just a bit, trying to make it a little more interesting. We're at 70 members, so
that's
like
a good number.
we have a good healthy
Okay.
number, which is really nice. Yeah.
I'm just going to jump in here for a second.
Go ahead.
Kelly,
Yep.
I understand that my volume is a little bit low, you say?
No, it's
Is,
good to me.
Sounds good.
yeah, I think, I don't know whether it's a YouTube thing because everybody else seems to have a fairly decent volume on me. So I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping here just to get everybody on. Good. And I'm going to let's see, three. uh, Four.
Gerald, do you get Jerry? Do you get
Sorry?
Jerry all the time?
No, well, I don't. You know what? I don't like Jerry.
Uh,
If you want to try a bit of French, I say Gérald.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Welland, right? Welland and there.
Why Welland?
My dad's name was Gerald, and
Okay,
he was Jerry.
okay.
Everybody called him Jerry.
So I'm Gérald, and some of my friends would call me Jer.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, boy,
interesting.
but I'm talking friends years ago.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember you and Chris, is it?
yep,
You used to do all kinds of even before the light show. You used to do some other kind of photography. Trying to
yeah.
think.
A lot of nature.
Yes, yes, and
Yeah, dragonflies and butterflies.
yes, there you go.
That's what I started like more than 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I haven't done it yet this year, just not been well
Yeah.
enough. But yeah,
No, I
generally,
saw you guys
yeah.
were doing a lot of those.
Oh, it's still my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the water drops too. Come wintertime. That's
Hmm.
an indoor project. And some stuff in the studio. Well, studio spare bedroom. It's a technicality.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's full of camera gear and lighting, it's the studio.
Unless you're doing,
Yeah.
depends what kind of photography you're doing in your studio.
Yeah. Right. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff. Like that's right. Like I do everything from flowers and not really the classic still life with buckets of fruit and that's not my thing, and it's very
I,
very difficult to
I
do.
was
But
thinking more like boudoir.
yeah, I do some of the boudoir, and I can. Well, if we have, it depends on how far George wants to let us push it. I can show you some of that kind of stuff tonight,
Hmm.
but whatever George wants to do. But yeah, that's interesting too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's way harder than it looks. Way harder. Very difficult to do.
Well,
Well,
can
it's
we,
easy to do,
let's see.
hard to do well. Yeah.
All right, let's have a look here. I've got a couple of messages, so I'm just going to show them. Somebody's volume's at max and can hardly hear us guys, all of us. So I'm not sure why
Is her
that
is
is.
her is the volume slider on YouTube all the way up?
Yeah, that
Because you can
helps.
yeah, you can have your volume on on your speakers up, but if the volume on YouTube isn't all the way to the right or left,
Oh, now let's see. Somebody's saying their screen is black on YouTube.
have them dial in on Zoom. Hooray, is that hooray for boudoir?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason guys like looking at.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of female boudoir photographers that are pretty doggone good too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think that they take a slightly different approach, but it's great.
I also think that they have an edge because they're
Well, they
female.
do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing Chris and I do is we work with the same model all the time. So we're like friends now. Like she'll have a question or she'll ask something, whether she's coming over or not for a shoot or whatever. She'll send me a text about something that happened or something she saw, and we go back and forth and everything. And she's like my other kid, right? Um, so you get to know them, and then they're way more comfortable around you. So yeah,
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
huge difference.
Yeah,
Communication is key.
it is. And I know when Michael Nash was on here talking about his photography of models, he certainly covered a lot of that as far as communication is concerned and your approach and everything,
Yeah,
and the comfort level after a while. So yeah, makes a big difference.
the way we do it, I'll find some stuff on the internet somewhere that I like, and I said, I think, looking at the lighting, I think we can pull this off, and I'll shoot it over to Chris. No, we can't, or yes, we can, or his opinion on it, and then I'll send it to Becca. And, oh, I like that. When do
Yeah,
we want to do it? Right? She never
yeah,
said no to anything, anyways. But so she has an understanding of what we're going to do that night, whether it's partial nudity, full nudity, or there's props, hats, or material, whatever
right.
involved. And so she knows, and the only stipulation is I tell her I don't want you wearing a wig because I can't stand cheap wigs because they look like cheap wigs. So just natural hair. Don't even ask. Don't even ask to wear one of your stupid wigs. So other than that, we do our thing. She comes over. She knows what she's walking into, and she also knows if we won't cross a line, right? And she can speak up if she feels like we're crossing a line or going outside the box that we talked about. But we never have, so she's very good at what she does.
Okay, I'm just checking the audio, and it's good on YouTube. I don't know. Yep. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. We've got another couple of comments. Let me just post them. George's screen froze for a bit, but I'm seeing him and hearing random off-screen voices. Yeah, that's because I turned on YouTube just to see what the volume is like, and of course YouTube is about a 10-second delay from what's actually happening here. So that makes a difference, and that's why you might have heard something. But I've turned that off now, so it's only us that are going to be here. If anybody else hears something else, it could be somebody in the background. Who knows? But let's see, what else do we have here on the off-screen guys? Yeah, black screen. We've talked about that. Pros, yeah, we got that one. Boudoir, yes. And finally, yeah, well, that might be. I don't know. There's no other volume adjustment that I can access. So
At their
yeah,
end.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do.
yeah.
Reload.
So whatever happened to Lady Vizina and Cat Razor? Both were amazing models, or are amazing models. I don't know them, so I don't know if any of you guys know these two.
No.
No. Okay. Where are those models from? Are they from Ontario, or I'm not sure, Kelly, what area of Ontario you're in, but yeah, if you could let us know. Oh, it's way louder on his phone. Okay. I don't know. Mysteries of the internet. What can I say? All right. Well, let's see. Tonight, I don't have a presenter, but I do want to mention that there will be Jeff Shaw coming up on July the 22nd. And he is going to be talking about the profitability of wedding photography and how his approach is, what his um, methods are, what equipment he uses, how he uses them. He has you won't see it in this picture of him, but I've got a couple of pictures of him where he has all kinds of leather cross straps that hold his cameras on each hip. He looks like a gunslinger, and he's going to be talking a little bit about that, obviously, on how to handle equipment and his workflow and what he does. One of the things about when I first got into photography on a professional level, I did a lot of weddings because they were the fastest to be able to make money with. And consequently, I did that for quite a long period until I really got into industrial commercial photography. That's what I wanted to do to begin with, but I couldn't get the jobs right away. I had to take a portfolio. I had to, I did cold calls and I did the whole thing to build up my business. And there's a whole story behind that, and another person that really helped me. But let's see. But I did everything. I would shoot anything as long as it was legal. And the thing was that I even shot babies. And I don't like to say it like this, but as soon as I started getting commercial work, the first thing I dropped was babies. And you know what? The babies were fine. It was the parents. Um, anyway, that's a very short little story about my start in industrial commercial photography. It took me about a year before I built up enough industrial commercial clients. And I was very, very fortunate. And I've worked with some Forbes 500 companies, and they were fantastic. And to be honest with you, I found many of the companies that I worked with that were based in the US were easier to get along with than the ones in Canada. But it's a kind of a strange thing. Anyway, one of these days I'll tell you my history in industrial commercial photography and how that came about for those of you that may be interested in immersing yourself in that. Now, I'm not going to talk any more about that, but do want to say hi, Pat. How are you? I'm glad to have you here. Yeah. Oh, did I hear something from Pat?
Can't see him. Oh, okay. I see his name.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the chat, Pat. And let's see. Uh, Easier to get along with?
No, we don't hear you,
No,
Pat.
we don't hear him. Oh,
No, we
Are
can't
you
hear
muted?
you. Hmm. Let's see. No, Pat shouldn't be muted.
I have no
Oh,
camera on my computer, but I have a microphone levels showing. Weird. No, we can't. Yeah, you're
uh,
muted. I
yeah.
can see it says you're muted, so
In
yeah.
Zoom, you're muted. In Zoom, you are muted. And actually, on YouTube, you can't chat with us.
if you
Let
push
me
your
see.
space bar down when you talk, Pat, try that. There you go. Say something.
Unmuted.
Try again.
Oh, you're muted again.
If you go down to audio in your lower right corner and you click on the microphone, it will unmute you. There, you're unmuted now. Can you say something and see if we can hear you?
Hi, Pat. I'm hoping
No,
I can hear
sound
you.
isn't coming through. Sound
Oh,
isn't coming through.
now you're muted again. The lovely thing about
Yeah, if you move your cursor down, there's a bar that shows up with audio and video. You might want to check your audio to see if it's not your audio, your video to see if it's
well, Pat doesn't have a camera, so
oh, he doesn't. Okay, okay. But you see, Pat, he muted his audio, so that's a problem.
It was able to unmute it, but it never changed. We couldn't hear him still.
Yeah, there he's unmuted. So we go down. I don't know if that makes it. I don't know if they're both the same, but if you go down to audio, I'm going to try it and see what happens with me. No sé, señor. No sé.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Yeah, there now Pat. You're showing a microphone, but it's muted, and now the mic is off totally. I can see you're trying things.
Got to be a setting on your computer somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I would suggest coming back in, getting out and coming back in.
Good idea.
Try that. That can solve a lot of problems just by signing out, signing back in.
Now let's see. Um, Sagan Droid, you asked, easier to get along with? How so? What were you referring to when you asked that question?
Oh, that was the U.S. Canada. That's when that I remember that popping up.
Okay, thank you. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, easier how? I just found that, and I don't want to be too critical of Canadian companies, but I just found that when I presented a quote to a U.S. company, they were a little bit more open about, well, here's our budget, and even sometimes, even if it was a higher than my quote, they were willing to go along with their budget rather than my quote. Matter of fact, one person said, "You know what? Your quote's a little low, so that makes us worried that maybe you're not capable of doing the work that we want you to do."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, give me a shot, and I'll prove to you that I can do it." And they said, "Well, yeah, can you sort of meet our price?" I said, "That's never happened before."
if I have to.
Yeah, and they were quite willing to do that, and they paid. Man, they paid on time. Job was finished. They paid within 30 days. I worked with some companies here that 90 days, even longer, and I had to hound them. So I never had that experience with U.S. companies, and I don't know whether it's their business ethics or the way they do things compared to here, but that was a stark contrast. So maybe I was just unlucky with Canadian companies and lucky with U.S. companies. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that's the difference that I found. But once I started working for them, uh, by and large, they were easy to work with, both the U.S. and Canadian companies. Although it's kind of interesting, I did a job down in Niagara Falls, and this is a long time ago, and it was a company that was making pizza, um, not
Pizza
just
rolls.
the no, they were actually making the flat pizzas with the
Okay.
filled edge on them,
Yeah.
right? And they would send that out to pizza companies who would then fire them and, of course, bake them and everything else. So that's what they did. And this was a new machine that they had in the company. And they called me and they said, "You do industrial work?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And they said, "We need you to come in to um, uh, do some video on this brand new machine that we have to show people what we do." And I said, "Oh, that's great. That's fine." I went down and I always do a site inspection before I go down and shoot anything because I need to know the lighting, I need to know the space and everything else. Well, it turns out that this machine was in a really crowded space with other machines. So it was a little difficult to get my large video because we had, Betacam cameras and they were big. They were the regular size that are used by news people that you see sometimes. And the tripod that went with that was huge too. So I decided that I would get a high-end small camera that was probably better than our Betacam machine. So I rented that, and I showed up with that, and I could see they were disappointed. It wasn't a big camera, And they said, well, I got a camera that size at home. I could have shot it. I said, no, this camera, um, and at the time it was one of the first red cameras. Anyway, I said, wait until you see the results. I said, besides, we couldn't use the larger camera in here. And the results were better than with our larger beta cam. And they were very happy with the end result. But I think sometimes perspective like that is interesting. That the expectation is that, well, if you're going to do a professional shoot, it better be a big camera, and not necessarily. So that
Like
was
real,
an interesting thing.
it's like real estate people, they drive a nice car
Yeah.
to show their clients around the homes, to show that they're successful in what they're doing.
Yes.
Whether they are or not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all perception, right?
Well, one of the things I tell, because I used to teach industrial commercial class in Conestoga, and one of the things that I told them was that number one, the equipment that you use doesn't necessarily reflect the quality. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is that there are professional photographers out there who aren't as good as some of the amateurs I've seen and some of the students that I've put out there. So that's interesting. And I said, and they're successful. Their work isn't as good as yours, but they're successful. And why is that? Well, they might not be great photographers, but they're good salesmen
Yeah.
and they can sell it. And that is one of the key ingredients in setting up a business. You have to be able to sell it, or you have to be able to have a salesperson. When my company was really at its best, I had a person dedicated to sales. When I first started, I did it all myself. And then I found that there were people who were interested in photography, but they were good salespeople. I sent them out, and it made a difference. It
Yeah.
really did. It's just like, for the first little while, I did my own bookkeeping. I'm not a bookkeeper. And then I said, okay, I'm making enough money right now to hire a bookkeeper because that's what they do best. I'll stick to photography. That's what I do. I'll let I'll let the salesperson sell, I'll let the bookkeeper keep books. And then I was very happy because I was doing what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you, Pat, to a certain extent. One of the things that I also talk about to my classes is that is professional photography dead? And my answer to that is no, because professionals bring something else to the picture. One of them is creativity that they have. Number two is schooled lighting techniques. They know all the different lighting techniques. And one of the keys that I have found in my industrial photography is repeatability. When a client comes to you and 6 months later and says, you did this shot for us last time, now we have a different product, we want the same shot. You better be able to light that shot exactly the same way they liked it the first time, because that is the key. And that was driven home to me. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but one company hired me to do their catalog work here in Ontario. So I went to all the different stores, took photographs of their product in those stores, and they put together a catalog. Now, they were also shipping equipment throughout the states. And what happened was they came to me and they said, we'd like to send you to key locations down in the states to take photographs of our equipment. And I said, well, not to talk myself out of a job. I said, but aren't there photographers locally there that can do these shots? And they said, we tried that. We did. We tried it. And each photographer did it differently. So it didn't match the work we already had in the catalog. So we're sending you down so that all the shots that come from all those different locations are going to look like the rest of our catalog. I said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But, and I didn't have to sell them on it. They already knew that's what they wanted. Okay, I'm just going to look down here for a second. And yeah, okay, we're fine. Anyway, yeah. Let's see, we've got a comment here. I don't know, man. These new smartphones do crazy things with all the crap lighting and make it look good anyway. Especially, I'm so jealous of the noobs with the smartphones can do. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And don't get me wrong, but there are semi-professionals or professionals that are using iPhones to take their photographs, and it's working for them. Number one of the reasons that it's working for them is, and this happens to me or happened to me with companies later on in the 2000s, that a company would come to me and say, okay, we want a photograph of this product. And my question is always, what do you need the photograph for? I would always take it in high resolution. And I know that these small cameras have, good pixel counts, but they're still tiny sensors. And you can't go poster size with those things. So that's the question. What do you need this for? And a lot of them, most of them, needed it for their website, for their PDF catalogs. You don't need huge files for those. I mean, an iPhone can take those and you probably have to size it down. But I've also found that once they looked at those photographs, a few months later, they say, that shot you took for me? We'd like to do a billboard. Okay, if you shot it on an iPhone, you're in trouble. So that's the thing. So you do need the equipment and you need the professional talent to know what the heck you're doing with photography. I find that a lot of people post their stuff to Instagram, to YouTube, and so on. They get a thumbs up and they think, oh, must be good photography. No, it's a thumbs up, but professional photography is a little bit different. It is. Now, having said that, I know that when you look at iPhones and things like that, you can do some really interesting things. You can do close cutting that was really more difficult in previous years. You can do all kinds of neat things with it. You can put in backgrounds easily. And with AI now, there's a whole bunch of little changes happening in the professional photography industry. But I think to be a professional, number one, you have to dedicate your time to it. Number two, you have to make money at it. You really have to make money. Throughout my career as a photographer, every time a new photographer opened up in my city, I would actually go to their opening. They knew who I was because I've been around here for years. When you're around for 40 years in photography, they get to know you. And yeah, it'd be a little intimidating for them, maybe not for some, but for some it would be. But I would just go and introduce myself and tell them I'm a commercial photography here, and I'm just interested to see what kind of work you do. These companies that started off, I would give them, some of them, 2 years, some of them maybe 4. None of them stuck around. In this town where I am, there were 2 commercial photographers. 2. There were a couple of startups and they failed. And the reason they failed is because they couldn't make money. In 2 years, they spent the money that they had for the business because they weren't pricing it right. They weren't thinking of all the overhead that's there for them. And there is a lot. They don't think about all the time that oh, sure, they get paid a certain amount of money for doing a wedding, But that's not all the time that you're going to spend on a wedding. Then you're going to go home, you're going to go through the photographs, you're going to do an edit, you're going to do some proofs that you're going to give the family, and then they're going to pick the ones that they want prints of if you're doing an album, and so on. And you have to do all the Photoshop work and retouching. Yeah, there's a lot more time spent on it than you think. And I think by the time that they spent that kind of time on their photography work, they were making less than minimum wage. Oh, that's not why I got into business. I didn't want to make minimum wage. So I priced things high. And one thing I found that if somebody couldn't afford what I was providing, well, there's two things I could do. And I'd say, I'm sorry, but that's my price. Or I know another photographer that will probably do it for you. And then I'd refer another photographer. And in my head, I'm thinking, they'll go broke doing this, but it's work for them, I guess. I don't know. But I did find that, there was one company that always took like 3 months to pay. And my accountant looked at it and they said, you know what? If you look at the interest that you're losing on that money, you're better off saying no to that company. Either you pay me on time or stop sending me work. And I did that. I told them that. And guess what? They stopped sending me work. But my profitability increased that year. So, sometimes you have to listen to your accountant, even though, yeah, you're kidding. I have to turn that down? Yeah, because you're not making money at it. The first year, I had a commercial loan from the bank, and the commercial bank manager said to me, here's the money. You're second on the list of people we don't loan money to. And I said, oh,
Self-employed.
okay. I said, who's first? And he said, musicians. I said, okay. Anyway, after the first year was over, I went to the manager and showed him our year-end report. And he looked at it and he said, well, the money that I loaned you, if you would have invested it in one of our funds, you'd have made more money this year and had no work to do at all. And I said, you mean to tell me I'm working my ass off to go broke? And he said, yeah, right now you are. It took me 2.5, almost 3 years to become profitable. Think about that. Anyway, enough. Let's see. We've got some comments here. I'm just going to post those. Let's see. Pat, yeah, congratulations. Okay, we'll start with this one. And Pat says, I don't know, man. The newer smartphones, I think we've seen that. And then Pat says, when somebody brings the same level of computational software to mirrorless lenses, it's going to be like when mirrorless blew DSLR away, but more extreme. Yeah, possibly. I mean, things are changing all the time. And photography is changing at an exponential rate because it's technical, because it's able to change like that. I tell my students right now that I have zip drives. I have all the old drives, zip drives. I even forget what the other drives were, but
Floppies.
yeah, floppy drives, and I show them I've got a floppy drive, and I've got the small floppy drives, and I've got the zip drives, and I've got I can't remember the name of the other drives that we use. Some of them only lasted a year, but things change so fast, and even the file types are going to change eventually. Right now, JPEG, yeah, big thing, and JPEG, PNG, and all these files, they're going to change eventually. It'll be better. So we'll see. Okay, so yeah, billboard's not a thing for you? Yeah, I did billboards. Oh, see, you did get a billboard one. Mirrorless bodies, yeah, not lenses. Well, I kind of assumed that. Oh, Pat, I'm glad you're jumping in on the conversation here. I'm too old ugly for OnlyFans. Yeah, well, you're never too old. I started this, oh, probably a year and a half ago. Year and a half ago. And I'm learning all the new software that goes with that so that I can do my let's see, I'll show you. I can do my switching here. I'm going to do a little bit of switching. And oh, see that? Uh, and I can go to all my buddies here on Zoom. Oh, there's nobody in that window, but that's my switching software. That's all part of this, and all this, the nice framing, um, the little red bar, all this branding and crap like that. I do it all on one software, but it's a lot to learn because it has audio, it has video, it has graphics, and just all kinds of stuff. So when it comes to graphics, I can pull in stuff like let's see this. Okay, cool. I can do that. So I think that learning that at my age, why not? Right? Keeps me going, man. And I'm going to keep going with this, until I just can't keep going. So, okay. Oh, jazz drives. Yes. Guzzy cards. Yes. And there were a couple of others too. Hmm. I'm trying to
Wasn't
remember.
RAID one of the names? Those
What's
RAID
that?
drives or the RAID drives?
RAID, yeah. RAID drives were the stacks of drives,
Yeah,
right?
the stacking hard drives. A lot of people still use those. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a million of them.
Yeah. And I know that the zip drives, they attached outboard drives at Mohawk College. They attached these outboard drives at Mohawk College, and they were gone in a year.
Hmm.
You know, that's how long they lasted. Yeah. What was my first computer? What the heck was it? Atari? Something like that. And then after that, I got involved with Apple computers and stuck with it the rest of the time. Yeah, I have a PC because I have to check things on a PC, make sure anything I, do there works on a PC too. So, Pat, let's see. Holy mackerel. I can almost not read that. Uh, New post software, everyone is ditching Adobe, thinking about trying Affinity. Anyone else made the jump? GUMP or GMP did not impress you. Capture One was great, but went the same way as Adobe did, screwing the users with subscriptions. Yeah, it seems to be the thing to do with most companies now, is that you have to rent their stuff. So you sign up for months at a time or a year at a time, and that's the way to do it. Before that, of course, it was updates. You purchase the software, but then you have to pay for the updates. So you know, potato, potato.
Hmm.
So anybody have any experience with any other software besides Adobe Photoshop? There was another one out too, and I can't remember. It was can't remember the name of it. I tried it out. It was the same as Photoshop, but it kind of freaked me out with no, it wasn't Krita.
There's On One, Lumix. There's a whole bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
Adobe is already enough for me.
Yeah. I don't need another learning curve.
Yeah, exactly.
Does what I want at $135 a year. Like you'll blow
Yeah.
that on gas to a good location to shoot, right?
Yep. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've gotten down to almost 8 o'clock, which is amazing. And it was mostly me talking. I'm sorry I kind of jumped in there and took over because I want to hear from you guys too. And well, let's see. Photoshop P is like Photoshop, but standalone.
Um, I got ready for this evening's meeting to share something with you.
Yeah, please. I'd love
Okay,
to.
it's not going to be very long, but it's my contribution. I'm not familiar with how I just did a share. You guys aren't seeing anything, are you?
Yeah.
Your
Uh,
desktop.
yeah,
Okay,
just
you're seeing all the, okay, so I'm
okay,
gonna,
hang on just 1 second
okay,
because I'm going
okay.
to I'm going to also
Yeah.
put that on to I'm going to find you first here. There we go. Number 4 and let's see. There we go. Is that you?
Yeah. So this is not going to take very long. I just wanted to share with you, something that I've been doing for a few years now. I photograph a golf tournament or Foyer Richelieu. They raised over 50,000, well, 1 year, $60,000, with this tournament, believe it or not. And I do the photography. So I'm on the greens, and of course, there's the traditional photos that we've always taken through the years. All, the foursome will stand, side by side, and they'll have their golf stick up front. You know what I mean? And I
Okay,
take a shot.
hang on a second. I've got these surfers on here. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
well,
talking?
I'm going to explain that to you.
Okay, do you want to do
Both
me a
these,
favor? Do you want to do me a
yeah,
favor? Make it larger.
okay,
Yeah. Uh,
okay. Is that full screen? It's full screen for me.
okay, but you have to go down now and share that full screen.
Okay, so how do I go down and share?
You go down at the bottom where it says share.
No, I'm at the bottom and there's nothing happens.
No, you got to open one. I think you got to open one of the individual pictures.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do I do that?
Double click on it.
Yeah.
Do you see anything?
No, now you have to go down to on Zoom, you have to go down to share. And when you
Ah,
do that, a window will open up and you'll see the larger picture.
I
Click on that.
wish. Okay, I don't know where I am. Okay, I've got that photo. I've
Yeah.
got another one where it says examples. That's my desktop. And
Yeah.
then I've got screen sharing meetings. Okay, so I have it. Okay, your screen,
Yeah, double
you are,
click on that.
it tells
Yeah.
me you are screen sharing.
No,
It tells me you are screen sharing.
no, no. Just double click on one of the photographs. And make it large.
Again, okay. This is what I did earlier.
Okay. Now, go back to Zoom. Go back to your Zoom window.
Okay, I think
Okay,
it's
and
it. Okay.
at the bottom, you'll see the share icon. If you take your mouse down there.
Nope, No bottom, nothing comes up. The share is up top. Okay, I'm okay. Share up top. What do I do? It
Okay.
says your screen, screen sharing is, oh, it's paused. Okay, so now, what do I do? Double click?
Are you in the
Yes,
Zoom window?
I was. Uh, I was hoping to avoid all this. I just wanted it to take maybe a minute to show you what I did. You never saw the photo at all?
Well, we can barely see that surfing photo, but we can go with what you have right now.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try. I got share here, share settings.
No, not settings. It says, let's see, I'm just going to click.
Okay, share. You are screen sharing is what it's telling me. It's
You're
telling me I'm
already
sharing
sharing.
now.
You're just sharing the wrong thing. You shared the folder instead of the actual picture. If you've
Okay,
already opened it, you've picked on. You got to pick the right screen to share.
so
Yeah, now, just one thing. You clicked on that little up arrow next to share.
I did.
No,
Yeah.
just click on the share button itself.
Okay, I did. I think this is going to work. How's this? Tell me it works.
Oh, there we
Good.
go. Holy
Oh,
crap.
great.
Good.
Oh, shit. Okay. So this is not the best one, but here, I just want to tell you the story behind all this. Okay. These people are golfers and it's at the tournament and they're on the green. So they're at a particular hole ready, to take a shot. And I got the surfboard there. So the surfboard is just on the grass. And I tell these people to get on the board side by side like that. And this is where it works, and I have someone with me who's helping me. We, we direct them, we tell them, okay, listen, here's what's happening. You're on a surfboard because it's just a surfboard dry on the grass. You understand?
Yeah,
So we're telling you, hey, listen, you're surfing now. You're actually surfing out on the water and you're holding on for dear life, so you got to be really careful. And also, there's a shark coming at you, So, and so I say that to guy number four, at the end. I said, and you, watch out, there's a shark there that's going to grab you if you're not careful. This is what we're doing with all the foursomes. And I take the shot.
yeah,
So then I go into Photoshop and I add the waves and I add the shark, and there's the photo you know. So what we got there's what we got was a photo that was well received by by the participants. So
yeah.
and I don't know, can I go from one photo to the next?
You should be able to.
Okay, I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna do another one that we did. So can you see this? I
Nope.
got I'm gonna I get again I got it.
Yeah,
How do I do it?
you got it. You're going to close that one and open the other one just like you did this.
I gotta close it. Okay, so I gotta go
Yeah,
back, right?
yeah,
Right there. I gotta close this one
yeah.
like this. And then,
Open the
yeah,
other one.
go back, open this one. Can you see
And
it?
then, no, and then now you have to share it again, just like you did before. In Zoom, you go down and hit that share button and you'll see it there and click on it.
Uh, not in the right one. Okay, wait a minute. I don't know where the hell it is. Listen, I don't want to bore you guys with this.
No, it's
Ah.
okay. It's all a learning curve, man.
So we're in Zoom, are we right now?
Yeah, you're in Zoom and you're going to go down to the bottom, click on share, not the arrow on the right, but the actual share in the rectangle. Click on that. You see that rectangle at the bottom in Zoom? Hmm. I think we lost him.
Hmm. Yep. He's gone.
Yep, it's a learning curve.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Oh, nothing. I can't do anything from here.
One wrong click and poof, it's gone. That
He
happens.
clicked on the wrong button. Anyway, I don't think he's going to be coming back probably, and I don't think we're going to wait. And it's one of those things that I don't mind spending time with him. Maybe outside of this time, and helping him get comfortable with Zoom and how to show his pictures.
Yeah, he shared his window. He didn't share the screen.
That's right.
That's what happens. You shared the wrong thing. So then you have to share every window after that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, that's not what I wanted either. Okay. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a night, and we have a missing guest here. So yeah, but all in all, I think it's been a good night, and we got some good feedback. I know that I was blathering on for a little bit longer than I really like to because it's for you guys. But here's what I'm going to ask for the next one. Now, next week is Canada Day. I will still be here, and I'll have a Canada t-shirt on. Um, and for those of you that are doing nothing else on Canada Day, I'll be in here. I don't know whether I should talk about taking photographs of fireworks. You guys have fireworks on Canada Day?
They're at the falls all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, the falls they have that every
Yeah, they have that all the time. Yeah.
yeah,
Every night.
every night. I know. Isn't it wonderful?
You can
You
hear
get
we're at the other end of town and we can hear them
you get
every
a
night, 10
chance
o'clock exactly.
you get a
Yeah.
chance every night to take photographs of fireworks and practice. But
Yeah.
not everybody gets that chance. So I might talk a little bit about how to take photographs of fireworks. Or what I'd really like to do is shut up and have you guys do a presentation. So,
Yeah.
David, I know you probably have some photographs that you can show us next week if you're here. And Scott, I don't know if you're going to be with us, but I'd love to see some other work from you that you've talked about. Um,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
went to, it's called Anchorball. It's the RBG. It's 18 sculptures, which but sort of up to 12 feet high, all done in fiberglass. It's Ken Kellinher is the guy who does it, and he exhibits all over the world with these. And this is the first time the RBG has actually done anything like it. And it's quite spectacular. So I've got quite a few photos of these things, which you may be interested in.
okay.
I was there yesterday.
Yeah. Well, if you can have a few of those for us, I'd love it.
What's it
Hmm.
called, Dave? What did they call it?
It's called Anchor Ball. Anchor Ball, or one word.
Okay.
And it's RBG, Royal Botanical Gardens. And the guy's got a great website. He's Ken Kellinher. I think I spell it's KELLEHER.com. If you go
Cool.
onto his site, it's quite. He, he's got. He's built these sculptures up to 30 foot high in different parts of the world. Quite amazing, and they're very odd. So you either love them or you don't. But it's just something a bit different.
Interesting.
Okay. Cool. Yes. Very
So
interesting.
and there's 18 of them at RBG in the Rose Garden.
Okay. Let's see. RGB is doing what? Can you show us from now? Well, can you show us one?
Yeah, we'll try. Yeah, sure. Right, I may have the same trouble. I didn't have time to. Oh, there it is. Can you see that one?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me just make sure that everybody gets a chance to see that. I'm just going to go down here.
That's
There's
uh,
there.
might be a trouble. You're missing the top of the head and feet.
Yeah.
Had this trouble before with the size. They're pretty big. Can you make the? Oh, that's it. So this is the first one, Breacher. And then he also does a lot of flowers, different things.
Cool.
But yeah, a little bit different.
What's that made of?
Fiberglass.
Fiberglass.
It-
Okay.
I think it's a still. I tried. He doesn't say on his site, but I was talking to one of the people who work there at RBG.
Yeah.
They said it's like a steel frame, and then he just molds the sculpture to it.
It's cool.
They're there till September the 20th. So
Quite
I'll be there.
colorful.
Oh, yeah, amazing, and really smooth. The cut, it's just amazing how he does it.
Huh.
I'm sure he doesn't want to tell people, but it'd be interesting to see how he does it.
Yeah, it would be. Okay, good. Well, thank you very
So,
much. Appreciate you showing us that.
okay, no problem.
All right. And you've got more to show us next week, all right?
Oh yeah, I can bore you
Good.
to tears next week.
Oh, wonderful. Good. All right. That's great. So, with that, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody, and thank you very much for participating. And Pat, I appreciate the fact that you tried to get in here, and uh, you know, again, it's technical stuff, but and I find that if you haven't used Zoom before or very much, it's something that you have to get used to. But I find it actually Mohawk College has turned to Teams, and I find Zoom more intuitive than Teams. So, go figure. But I think, budgetary concerns, I guess. However, if you're on YouTube, then I would certainly appreciate you giving us a like because we like likes, and of course, subscribe. So if you have a chance, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us uh, get our numbers up. So yeah, it's good stuff. With that, I'm going to say good night, Scott, David, Pat, and appreciate you coming in tonight. Good night.